Coming up on this edition of Chris 6 Sunrise, the stories that matter most to you in your neighborhoods. The Corpus Christi City Council has approved a project aimed at saving us from possible curtailment. Investigative reporter Leah Zora breaks it down for us.
And arsenic levels in Robstown's water are getting worse. Neighborhood news reporter Stephanie Molina has more on the new test results that could mean another violation. Chris 6 Sunrise starts now.
Good morning and happy Thursday, everyone. You are watching Chris 6 Sunrise, waking up with the Hoffmans today. I'm Brian Hoffman.
And I'm Michelle Hoffman. Folks, when we were driving to work, we ran into some hazy roads, right? Just a little bit.
Yeah, just a bit.
We always determine it if you can see the Harbor Bridge.
Yeah, which you could barely see it. Let's see if conditions have improved at all. Meteorologist Stephen Jones. How you doing, Stephen?
Good morning.
Well, good morning, you guys. You know, not too bad today. Luckily, we're still on that warming trend. So far, we're only down to about 70 degrees here in Corpus Christi. So I think a lot of people are happy about that, except as we go into the afternoons, maybe not so happy about the 80s and 90s even trying to make their return. But here's a live view from our Snoopy Skycam thanks to Matthew CCAC, and you can definitely see the fog on the horizon there under the streetlights, but traffic still flowing nice and smoothly along the causeway, and luckily that fog not causing any trouble spots this morning, not tracking any slowdowns. In terms of our visibilities, luckily not quite dense fog criteria, only down to about 2 and 3 miles in terms of those worst visibilities out there. Temperature-wise, all of us coming in around the mid and upper 60s, if not most of us in the lower 70s. But through the rest of today, likely to see that sunshine return once again into the afternoon. Daytime highs in the 80s, even a couple of 90s out west towards Hebronville and Falfurrias. As we're looking at the traffic flow, like I said, not tracking any of those slowdowns. The new Harbor Bridge to and from Portland looking good and green this morning. Also for our major roadways here in Corpus Christi, not tracking those slowdowns. So for the most part, looking like a good and green Thursday morning.
Thank you so much, Stephen. Appreciate it. So it's no secret, folks, the city of Corpus Christi is running out of water. But how bad is it? Well, this is what Lake Corpus Christi looks like right now. If you go by the numbers, the lake is at 10.5% of capacity. But a picture is worth 1,000 words. Instead of splashing water, shorelines look like an overgrown yard full of dry vegetation. Piers and boat ramps lead to no man's land of grass and weeds. This is the end result of our years-long drought, and there's no end in sight. Now, the city is getting ready to spend hundreds of millions of dollars to create new water sources, but some city council members are not happy with how it's happening. Leah Zora dives into that issue.
Water levels in Corpus Christi's main reservoirs, Lake Corpus Christi and Choke Canyon, remain at historically low levels. They're sitting at just 9.5% capacity, and the city is currently under Stage 3 drought restrictions. Now, City Manager Peter Zanoni warns that if the current drought conditions continue, we could hit a level 1 water emergency before November. And that means residents and industry alike would have to cut water usage by 25%. City Council approved a $175 million brackish water desalination plant and move forward with a $230 million Evangeline groundwater project. Now, that's worth more than $400 million, decided in just one night. Several council members raised concerns about skipping a competitive bidding process, questioning where the saltwater waste from desal would even go, and the overall cost and contracts with big water users like refineries. And Zanoni pushed back, saying that the city doesn't have time for traditional bidding and that this spending is long overdue. And meanwhile, there's an emerging legal battle over the Evangeline project. The city of Sinton and the St. Paul Water Supply have protested the groundwater permits, saying that large-scale pumping could affect their water. And a hearing that may be scheduled for March 2nd could delay the project. But city officials are meeting with Sinton to try to reach a resolution.
I'm your Robstown neighborhood news reporter, Stephanie Molina. We have been telling you about arsenic levels in Robstown's water exceeding federal limits. Now we have learned new information from Texas Commission on Environmental Quality that the most recently arsenic sample collected on January 29 shows even higher levels. The new test results showed 0.0115 milligrams per liter, an increase from previous sample. The earlier test led to the Nueces County Water Control and Improvement District 3 first violation. TCEQ anticipates issuing another violation soon. We will reach out to the Water District for more information about what this means for the community. We'll be sure to keep you updated on any developments on this story. In Robstown, I'm Stephanie Molina, Chris 6 News.
Stephanie, thank you so much. And on Wednesday, the Nueces County Water Control and Improvement District 3 addressed the Robstown City Council regarding the arsenic concerns. District Manager Marcos Alanis spoke during public comments. He told the council their own independent sample testing found arsenic levels were below TCEQ limits.
Again, the water's still safe to drink. Again, this is a prolonged period of time. If something is to happen, it would be over 8 to 10 years. Again, I'm not a healthcare provider, but he's probably going to tell you the same thing.
Alanis added they are working on ways to mitigate the problems.
Well, hey there and happy Thursday. Coastal Bend taking a live view from our USS Lexington cam thanks to First Community Bank. Sitting at 70 degrees here in Corpus Christi, those winds out of the south at 10 miles an hour. And if they were any lighter, we'd likely be seeing this fog a little bit thicker out there. But luckily, we still have the new Harbor Bridge in view right now, just getting obscured just a little bit by all of that moisture you can tell is in our atmosphere. In terms of our almanac, though, still watching the rainfall deficit climb the board a little bit, closer to 2 inches, sitting at about 1.95 right now. In terms of yesterday, though, we rounded out at 83 degrees, still shy of that record high that was 94 back from 1986, and the record low 25 degrees. Don't think we're going to be seeing quite that cold of a temperature drop as we head through the next few days, but we do have one more taste of winter on the way. Not so much this morning, feeling more like spring in the 70s along the coast. 68 what you're waking up to in Kingsville right now, and for the cool spot we have to head out west. Freer coming in at 64 degrees, Cotulla coming in at a nice 61 degrees this morning. For our dog walking forecast today, we've got Peanut Gonzalez on the board, ready for their walk over there at West Guth Park, and not looking like too bad of a day, just a little bit warm out there as the sunshine comes back out. We'll expect more of that sun as we head into 10 and 11 a.m. That's where temperatures start to rise pretty quickly, 75 by 10 a.m., 81 as we're heading out there for lunch later this afternoon, and even daytime highs going to push up into the mid-80s. Luckily, those winds looking quite a bit lighter than what we saw yesterday, only out of the south 10 to 15 miles an hour this morning, and as we're heading through the later portions of the afternoon, only looking like those gusts likely to push to 20 miles an hour. Here's how our forecast highs are rounding out. Could even see a few 90s trying to sneak into portions of the coastal bend. Right now focusing on areas like Hebronville, Freer, Valfurious, and even Kingsville coming in at 89 degrees. Could see a couple 90s around there, so very well above average considering we're supposed to be closer to 73 degrees for this time of year. Here's how our winds are shaping up. Like I said, closer to 20 miles an hour, maybe 1 or 2 gusts upwards of 25 miles an hour, but overall compared to the 35 mile an hour range we saw yesterday, I don't think anybody's going to be complaining about that this afternoon. For our 7-day forecast, looking warm the next few days in the 80s through Saturday, but by Saturday afternoon you expect a decent breeze out of the north. That's where this cold front arrives into the region. That's going to cool us off for Sunday and Monday in those upper 60s and lower 70s. A couple of chilly mornings in store as we kick off the final week of February in the 40s, and then some quick warming takes us back into the 80s by next Wednesday.
Well, the Epstein scandal claims another high-profile figure, former Prince Andrew, now under arrest. Coming up on Sunrise, Joe St. George breaks down what we know so far. Welcome back, folks. So the fallout from the Epstein files continues. This morning, we're learning that Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, formerly known as Prince Andrew, has been arrested.
Now, to talk more about this, we bring in our Deputy Political Director, Joe St. George, this morning. Good morning, Joe. So I know this is all still developing, but what do you know so far about the former prince's arrest, and what charges is he facing?
This is a staggering announcement, right? And it's, as this news broke before we came on the air this morning, I was thinking, just a few years ago, the Epstein controversy, the saga, it was very much relegated to the podcasters, to the conspiracy theorists out there. It wasn't mainstream, but the victims, the survivors, they kept pressing lawmakers. They kept pressing for more accountability. And just think of now all of the impacts of the release of these Epstein files in recent weeks and months has had on our society. I mean, you could make a strong case that the Epstein release has impacted British politics more than it has American politics. But just this week alone in our country, you had leaders of Hyatt Hotels, Tom Pritzker, he's announcing he's stepping down because of Epstein-related communications. Casey Wasserman, who is a prominent Hollywood executive, chairman of the LA Olympics. He announced he's selling his entertainment company because of Epstein ties. Goldman Sachs attorney stepping down. And now we have really our first high-profile arrest. Up until this point, it's been a bit of a public relations crisis to be named in an Epstein document. But now there is a consequence here from the legal side of things, and what a high-profile arrest this is. This is just a staggering announcement of the man formerly known as Prince Andrew. Remember, King Charles stripped his brother of the title of prince, so that's why he's known technically as Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. But he's being arrested over allegations of a time in which he was the prince. Back under the reign of Queen Elizabeth, he served as a trade advisor, traveled around the world to boost British trade, and that's the period of time that has been called into question. The accusation: did the former prince share sensitive economic British data with Jeffrey Epstein that may have benefited Jeffrey Epstein financially? Clearly, the police and investigators in Great Britain have found some sort of new evidence to suggest that there may be some illegal activity here. The Thames Valley Police releasing a statement in recent hours saying that this is all over the allegation of misconduct in office. But think about this. I mean, I can't think of a time in modern royal history in which you're talking about the brother of the monarch, the brother of the king, being arrested. I mean, it almost feels like an episode out of the Netflix series The Crown. This is the former prince's 66th birthday, by the way. So a noteworthy timing here that the police decided to arrest the former prince on his birthday. This is a massive story. And again, guys, the latest Epstein-related fallout from all of these files. I know people may be asking, viewers may be asking, why are we covering Epstein every single day? Well, because there's new layers being peeled back every single day, and this is a massive development on this Thursday morning.
Yeah, exactly. This is big news, Joe. Thank you so much for your time today.
And thanks for keeping us up to date so fast on this one. We'll speak to you again very soon.
Well, hey there, Coastal Bend. I'm meteorologist Stephen Jones. Taking a live view from our studio sky cam, you can see a little bit of a foggy one on our hands so far. You can still see the new Harbor Bridge and downtown both in view though, but starting to get a little bit more obscured there for the new Harbor Bridge, and starting to watch some of those visibilities decrease slightly, but still sitting around 2 to 3 miles out there, so not quite dense fog advisory criteria. For our temperatures out there right now, pretty warm closer to the coast, 70 for Port Aransas, the Naval Air Station, and here in Corpus Christi. 71 is our hot spot though in Robstown, tying with Rockport and Falfurrias this morning. And for our cool spot, we go out to the west, Freer coming in at 64 degrees, Cotulla coming in at 60 degrees. But for our hour by hour forecast, as we're getting ready for the sun to come up, going to see those temperatures also come up. 75 by 10 a.m., 81 what we're up to expecting by that lunchtime hour, and winds luckily not quite as bad as yesterday, only south winds at 10 to 15 miles an hour as we're heading into the afternoon. Some of those peak gusts could push upwards of 20 to 25 miles an hour, but overall compared to yesterday when we saw 30 to 35 miles an hour, I don't think it's going to be quite as bad as what we saw yesterday. For our daytime high, chasing about 86 here in Corpus Christi, could see a few 90s sneak their way into areas like Hebronville and Falfurrias later today. By tonight, we see the redevelopment of that fog after midnight. Overnight lows in those upper 60s I'm expecting around most of the region, if not even 70 degrees like this morning. We're staying pretty warm out there, but either way, into tomorrow afternoon, similar to today, plenty of sunshine in the afternoon takes us back into those mid-80s expected for daytime highs. As we're going in through this on the future tracker, could even see a little bit of rain on it, but first we got to get through our Thursday. Plenty of sunshine in the afternoon gets us into those even 80s and 90s for some of our neighborhoods, but overnight lows push back into the 70s and 60s, and can't rule out a little bit of drizzle as we head into that morning commute tomorrow, maybe even a quick passing shower with a few drops on the windshield. In terms of rainfall totals, no, it's not going to amount to too much, but hey, we'll still take every drop in the bucket. For our next cold front, we're watching this next trough of low pressure that's off towards the west coast, slowly working in through the central United States as we head through that Saturday time frame. So another taste of winter on the way, it looks like, as we kick off this final week of February, but going to be brief-lived. Behind that, we start to turn to more zonal flow across the United States, meaning that mainly west to east pattern you see on some of these lines. Things start to calm down and warm up pretty quickly, it looks like, as we head through the rest of our final week of February. February. Here's how it's all shaping up on our current 7-day forecast. A couple of warm days ahead with sunny afternoons pushing us into the 80s here in Corpus Christi. That cold front makes things breezy out of the north on Saturday and then cooler for Sunday with some increased fire danger, but temperatures in the lower 70s and upper 60s as we kick off this final week. But quick warming takes us back into the 70s by Tuesday, the 80s as we head into next Wednesday.
A 2-month-old baby boy detained at a for-profit immigration detention center is rushed to the hospital with difficulty breathing. On Scripps News investigative reporter Patrick Terpstra coming up, what we know about this case and how the little baby is doing now.
Welcome back, folks. An ICE detention center in Texas is back in the spotlight after word of a baby boy being rushed to the hospital with breathing difficulty. Scripps News investigative reporter Patrick Terpstra has the latest.
A 2-month-old baby boy fell ill with respiratory distress at an immigration detention center in Texas run by a for-profit company. According to Texas Congressman Joaquin Castro, a Democrat, the boy at one point was unresponsive while being detained at the Dilley Family Detention Center along with his parents and sister. Castro says they tried to take him to the clinic after hours one morning, but there was no doctor present. So they called an ambulance and took the baby to the hospital Monday night. He was treated and released and has since been deported to Mexico along with his family. Castro says the case shows that these detention centers are no place for children.
We've seen the violence of ICE on the street, but there's also a brutality of ICE behind closed walls in those prisons that everybody doesn't get to see, that only members of Congress and others have had a chance to see. And so I'm telling you, please, it's just as bad in there in a different way. Please speak up.
The Department of Homeland Security is blaming the baby's mother, saying she is the one that came to the country illegally and that she made the decision to have the baby detained with her. DHS also saying that there is adequate medical care at these detention centers, but the Scripps News investigative team has documented a number of complaints about lack of health care at this Dilley Family Detention Center and other locations like it. Patrick Terpstra, Scripps News Group, Washington.
Well, hey there and happy Thursday. Coastal Bend taking a live view from our Snoopy Skycam thanks to Matthew CCAC. We're sitting at 70 degrees here in Corpus Christi. Those winds out of the south at 13 miles an hour. If they were any lighter, we'd likely be seeing some thicker fog out there, but luckily visibility sitting around 2 to 3 miles as we're hitting those roadways this morning. And in terms of that traffic flow, I should say, not tracking any of those major slowdowns, but here's a look at those visibilities. Like I said, 2 to 3 miles in terms of our most reduced visibilities. Alice sitting at about 9.5 miles right now, but temperature-wise, all of us waking up to those upper 60s and 70s. Through the rest of our Thursday, likely to see those 80s return for daytime highs. And in terms of our current traffic flow, like I said, not any of those slowdowns right now. Looking good and green there along the New Harbor Bridge. Just a minor slowdown on 361 between Gregory and Ingleside, and our major roadways in Corpus Christi also coming in the clear. So for the most part, looking like a good and green Thursday morning as we're heading out the door. Well, howdy and happy Thursday, Coastal Bend. I'm meteorologist Stephen Jones. Taking a live view from our USS Lexington cam now, thanks to First Community Bank. We've got the New Harbor Bridge and the Texas State Aquarium both nice and lit up for our Thursday morning, but temperature-wise, not looking too bad either, only down to about 70 degrees here in Corpus Christi and a little bit of fog out there, but luckily visibility is only sitting around 2 to 3 miles in terms of those worst reduced visibilities right now. Temperatures along the coast sitting closer to 70 degrees, 71 our hot spot for Rockport, Robstown, and Falfurrias all tied for it this morning. For our cool spot, you have to head out west. Freer coming in at 64 degrees. Off to the northwest, Cotulla coming in at a cool 60 degrees this morning. But as we're heading through the next few days, still likely to hold on to some of the fog and those warm temperatures. Let's take a closer look with our Chris 6 Neighborhood Weather Network. On the south side, coming in at 70 degrees from San Benito Drive, matching that for Garden Court and 71 there on Pebble Beach Drive. As we head inland, a little bit of variation, but still holding on to those warm temperatures. George West 69 to 70 degrees. On the east side of Lake Corpus Christi, they're coming in at 70 from County Road 803 this morning. But as we're heading through the next few hours, here's our dog walking forecast today. Today, our star is Peanut Gonzalez, looking pretty majestic, perched up there on the rock, I'd say. But temperatures aren't going to round out too badly, quickly warming as the sunshine comes back out. 75 by 10 a.m., 81 as we're heading out for lunch later this afternoon. And luckily, those winds not quite as bad as what we saw yesterday, only out of the south 10 to 15 miles an hour. And as we're rolling into the afternoon, only going to be pushing that 20-mile-an-hour mark, it looks like, in terms of our peak wind gusts. Yesterday, we were sitting closer to 30 to 35 miles per hour. So a little bit better as we're heading through the rest of our Thursday, but still a little bit of a breeze into the afternoon. Under that sunshine, I think we get to 86 here in Corpus Christi. A few 90s try to sneak their way into areas like Falfurrias and Hebronville, maybe even into Freer and Kingsville. But either way, all of us by tonight see the redevelopment of that fog. 60s for overnight lows, if not the upper 60s. And as we head into tomorrow night, or tomorrow afternoon, I should say, just about a copy and paste of today, that sunshine comes back out and takes us into the mid 80s once again. For a future tracker, one more thing worth mentioning about tomorrow, we could see some rain as we head into the morning hours. First, got to get through our Thursday with the sunshine and warm temperatures this afternoon, but by tomorrow morning's commute, can't rule out a little bit of that drizzle or even a quick passing shower here in the Corpus Christi area. In terms of rainfall totals, no, it's not going to amount to much or not anywhere near a drought buster, but hey, we're still going to take every drop in the bucket we can get for right now. So for our current 7-day forecast, still a couple of warm days ahead through the 80s onto Saturday. By Saturday, that next cold front arrives and you can expect another breezy afternoon, but as we head into Sunday and Monday, those lower 70s, upper 60s, and even some chilly mornings in the lower 40s there before we warm back up into the 80s as we head into next Wednesday.
Well, folks, she's just a 7th grader, but Annabelle Cronkite is heading to the State Science Fair at Texas A&M. Coming up, the Caffey Middle School student joins me live to share the project that's taking her to the top. Welcome back, folks. So this morning we are celebrating some serious brain power, right? A 7th grader over at Caffey Middle School, and she just won the middle school division at this year's remote science fair with her project titled, Does Exercise Type Affect Oxygen Levels? This marks the 2nd straight year that Annabelle is advancing to the state competition. She's not alone, though. Her brother is actually, or older brother, I should say, attends Veterans Memorial High School and is also heading to the state for the 3rd year in a row. Both will be competing at the State Science Fair at Texas A&M University in College Station, March 27th and 28th. Hey, first off, I have to say a big congratulations. And I did a little bit of digging in on what brought you this award. Can you talk to me a little bit more about it, though, just so the folks at home can understand?
Well, the award was for Best in Junior Division, and I was really happy that I got it.
Yeah, and what exactly was your project all about?
My project was testing SpO2 levels and how it affects like your heart rate and in like teens and middle schoolers.
Yeah, and you specifically studied the difference between swimming and outdoor exercising, right? Mm-hmm. What did you find?
I found out that not all people are the same and that they're trained for certain things, and my participants, they were trained for swimming instead of running, so that somewhat skewed the exercise and how the heart rate and SpO2 levels work, because the running was harder for them than the swimming was.
Yeah, and that was actually contrary to your original hypothesis as well. You were kind of thinking that maybe swimming would be a bit more difficult, right, because of the tension with water? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so when it comes to this type of study, what do you hope to do maybe for next year? Because again, this isn't the first time, right?
If I continue it next year, I would hope to get more participants. And if I did get more participants, I would have a variation instead of just all swimmers, because all my participants were swimmers.
That makes sense. And so, you got this award. Are you being treated a bit like royalty at school nowadays, or is it business as usual?
Well, sadly not. Amongst my peers, I'm not being treated like a VIP, but amongst my teachers, I'm being treated more respectfully, I guess you could say.
Now, how's it feel representing Corpus Christi alongside your brother here at the state level?
I'm very excited to represent Corpus Christi at the Texas State Science Fair, and many reasons I'm excited is because I've been doing this since the first grade, and I'd also like to give a huge shout out to CCISD and the Regional Science Fair for supporting all the kids in Science Fair, and I also want to give a huge shout out to my mentor, Dr. Hopkins, for keeping science alive in the Science Fair Spark Alive.
That is awesome. Well, thank you so much. And hey, congratulations again, Annabelle, and the entire family. An incredible achievement. She's one of 83 students advancing to that state, representing 75 projects from our area schools. And from all of us here at Chris 6, we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Well, also wishing you good luck and great work there, Annabelle. As we're starting off our Thursday, looking pretty warm out there as we're looking at the temperatures, 70 degrees so far what we're sitting at. Here's a live view from our Snoopy Sky Cam thanks to Matthew CCAC, and you can see a little bit of fog trying to sneak in, but luckily visibility's not too thick out there right now. Still holding on to about 2 and 3 miles of that visibility. You can see similar over there by SPID, a few more cars along that roadway, but still flowing nice and smooth. In terms of our temperatures, 70 degrees what you're waking up to in Alice, 68 in Kingsville, and Hebronville coming in at 67 degrees. But all of us through the rest of the day are going to be on the warm up. That sunshine returns this afternoon, the 80s for daytime highs, potentially a few 90s out towards Hebronville and Falfurrias. But in terms of our winds, quite a bit lighter than what we saw yesterday, only sitting closer to that 10 to 15 mile per hour mark. Through the next few days, we're still holding on to the heat, but by Saturday, our next cold front arrives. That brings us back to below average temperatures, but going to be pretty brief as we head through the rest of our final week of February. Going to warm up pretty quickly. Of course, I'll break down all of that on our temperatures, the precipitation chances, and our full 7-day forecast coming up.
Coming up, could tanker ships solve our water shortage? Well, investigative reporter Leah Zora finds out why this simple idea isn't so simple.
And arsenic levels in Robstown's water are getting worse. Neighborhood News reporter Stephanie Molina has more on the new test results that could mean another violation.
And the tide is a-turning for local surfers. Neighborhood News reporter Drew Bishop finds out how the new Bob Hall Pier could put the coastal bend on the surfing map.
Now, 20 minutes of nonstop news, sponsored by Ewald Kubota.
Hey there, folks. Thank you so much for joining us for our 20 minutes of nonstop news with the Hoffmans. I'm Brian Hoffman.
And I'm Michelle Hoffman. Folks, you just saw we have plenty of important neighborhood news for you this morning. But first, let's check in with meteorologist Stephen Jones to see how the roadways and weather are looking before you head out the door. Good morning, Stephen.
Morning.
Well, good morning, Michelle and Brian. You know, not looking too bad out there. We're at least not tracking any major slowdowns, and the fog isn't too thick right now. At least it's shy of the dense fog criteria. But as we're looking out at our USS Lexington cam, thanks to First Community Bank, you can still notice some of it obscuring the new Harbor Bridge from view. Nonetheless, still sitting at 70 degrees for that morning low so far here in Corpus Christi, and holding on to some of those reduced visibilities around the coastal bend. Same goes for SPID, still holding on to not too much in terms of a traffic slowdown out there, but visibilities across the board about 2 to 3 miles. Temperature-wise in the 60s and even lower 70s. All of us through the rest of our day are going to see that warm up ensue. Through the afternoon, the sunshine returns to our skies, and 80s for daytime highs it looks like here in Corpus Christi. A couple of 90s try to sneak their way into areas like Hebronville and Falfurrias, so either way, very warm out there as we're heading out for our Thursday. In terms of our traffic flow, like I said, no major slowdowns, a minor one there on 361 between Gregory and Ingleside though. For our major roadways here in Corpus Christi, the only minor one we're seeing is on Saratoga close to Airline Road, but other than that, shaping up to be a good and green Thursday morning.
Thank you so much, Steve. Appreciate it. So it is no secret, folks, that Corpus Christi is running out of water. But how bad is it? You got to look at this right now. This is what Lake Corpus Christi looks like right now. If you go by the numbers, the lake is at 10.5% capacity, but a picture's worth 1,000 words, right? Instead of splashing water, that shoreline looks like an overgrown yard full of dry vegetation. Piers and boat ramps lead to no man's land off of grass and weeds. This is the end result of our years-long drought, and there is no end in sight. And it's been a year since Neighborhood News reporter Melissa Trevino visited Choke Canyon State Park in Live Oak County. Back then, the shoreline was just feet from the boat ramp. When Melissa returned, the landscape had drastically changed. Take a look. The shoreline is now yards away and the reservoir practically dry. Melissa spoke with visitors about the dramatic transformation, and she'll have more on that severe condition today at 5 p.m. and 6 p.m.
So would shipping in tanks full of fresh water be a simple fix to our city's water shortage? It sounds appealing, but it might be more of a hassle than it's worth. Investigative reporter Leah Zora spoke to a maritime logistics expert to find out why.
It sounds logical, but economically, it does not make sense. Because if it was making sense, around the world we'll have an active water transportation maritime shipping system. We don't have it.
Hi, everyone. I'm Leah Zora, an investigative reporter here with Chris 6 News, back to answer another one of your water questions. So viewer Al Lee asked, how much would it help to bring in tanker ships full of water for industry to use and have them pay for it? Considering that the world's largest tankers have the capacity to carry over 3 million barrels of liquid, while tanker trucks by comparison can only hold about 1,000 to 11,000 gallons, bringing in ships full of water here sounds like a good idea, but it's complicated. So I reached out to a maritime logistics expert to explain why.
First of all, you're going to need a cargo ship which has clean storage tank. If you use a regular tanker, all of this will need to be clean, which is doable. Then you need a separate pumping system for that. You need to install the pipes and pump the water out of the ship in pretty large quantities, and it will require separate pipeline systems. And actually in Corpus Christi, the facilities are designed for exports. That is, you pump oil or you pump liquid or natural gas out. Now it's going to be the other way around. You need to pump stuff in, and you need to bring into some kind of a reservoir or the public utility system, and that water would technically need to be filtered.
And the cost for this sort of water tanker operation would be passed on to whoever's buying the water.
So the cost of building infrastructure to bring this in, to connect it, could be relatively high. There are places that do that to bring fresh water to some buildings. I've seen that in the Middle East sometime. But for a city, it would not make any sense unless you're willing to pay an excessively high price. You want to subsidize it, but you're going to say that the numbers do not make any sense. The cost of transportation will be 4, 5, 10 times higher than the price of the water. We transport oil because the value of the cargo is way more significant with water, but it's a commodity that has very little value, commercially speaking. It sounds logical, but economically, it does not make sense. Because if it was making sense, around the world we'll have an active water transportation maritime shipping system. We don't have it.
So while industries could theoretically pay a premium to ship in water, experts generally see it as a short-term solution at best, not a sustainable way to meet the region's growing needs, which helps to explain why this area's long-term strategy has focused on expanding the local water supply through things like desalination, recycled wastewater, and groundwater wells.
Well, hey there and happy Thursday, Coastal Bend. I'm meteorologist Stephen Jones. Taking a live view from our studio Skycam, you can see downtown in the view, but a foggy morning so far. Luckily not as thick as what we saw just a couple weeks ago. Most of our visibility is holding on to about 2 to 3 miles right now. Here in Corpus Christi, sitting at 4 miles of visibility, 3.5 there in Port Aransas, and 3 across the board for Kingsville, Alice, and Hebronville so far. So not quite dense fog criteria, but still seeing a slight reduction. Might want to take your extra caution on the roadways this morning. For our temperatures out there closer to the coast, sitting closer to 70 degrees. 71's our hot spot for Rockport, Robstown. 72 actually in Falfurrias has come up degrees so far. George West coming in at 68 degrees, and our cool spot Freer coming in at 64, even 60 up there in Cotulla this morning. For our school day forecast, as you're heading out, maybe just a couple more degrees in those upper 60s for the overnight low, but even though we're going to go into the afternoon, see the sunshine come back out, about 84 degrees by 3 p.m. Chief chasing that afternoon high at about 86 degrees here in Corpus Christi, and luckily not quite as breezy as what we saw yesterday. Yesterday was closer to 30 to 35 miles an hour. Today, as we're heading through our Thursday, should only be upwards of 20 to 25 miles an hour. In terms of the peak wind gusts, our sustained wind should be closer to 10 and 15 miles an hour, so quite a bit more pleasant than what we saw yesterday. But we do have potentially a little bit of rain back on the future tracker. First, starting off with our Thursday, that cloud cover clears up into the afternoon and takes us back into the 80s and even 90s for some of our southern neighborhoods. As we head into tomorrow, the redevelopment of that fog after midnight and potentially some AM drizzle and even a quick passing shower as we're heading out for that morning commute tomorrow for our Friday. But overall, not going to amount to much in terms of those rainfall totals. You can see pretty light greens on the board if we do see anything. Our next cold front works in as we're heading into Saturday. We've been watching it all week. This blue trough of low pressure that starts to work in by Saturday sends a good cold front our way, but it's going to be brief-lived as that next ridge of high pressure and then some zonal flow starts to set in, meaning just that general west to east pattern you see on some of these lines. Things are going to start to calm down and warm up pretty quickly as we're heading through the final week of February here in the coastal bend. Luckily, we do still have that cold front that I talked about, so one more taste of winter on the way. I think overnight lows dip as low as the 40s as we're kicking off this final week, but then look at the quick warming that takes place after. 75 as we head into Tuesday, I should say, and then back into the 80s as we're heading into next Wednesday.
Now, 6 things to know before you go.
To start off this list, President Donald Trump's Board of Peace is set to hold its inaugural meeting today in Washington. More than 24 countries have signed on as founding members, including Israel and other regional powers. Trump says that member countries each pledge $5 billion to help rebuild Gaza. The group says it will commit thousands of personnel to peacekeeping as well. Palestinians, however, object, saying that their representatives were not even invited to the board.
FEMA has been ordered to stop all travel for its workers. The Department of Homeland Security issued that order Tuesday due to the partial government shutdown. FEMA boots on the ground can continue their work, but no new workers can help, and deployed employees can't come home until their projects are completed. The order raises questions because FEMA is not funded by the stalled budget. Its operations are mostly covered by a separate disaster relief fund that had about $7 billion in December.
So a federal appeals court has ruled that the Defense Department can continue to ban people who are HIV positive from enlisting. Wednesday's decision from the 3-judge panel was unanimous. In 2024, a lower court ruled that the controversial policy was unlawful, but the appeals court froze that decision while it reviewed the case. Last month, the Pentagon paused initial training for people who are HIV positive and recently joined the military. A judge wrote that the military demonstrated its need to have service members able to fulfill missions, quote, without complications from medical conditions, end quote.
The city of Corpus Christi is hosting a job fair this Saturday. More than 100 positions are available across various departments, including public works, utilities, and parks and recreation. The job fair runs from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at La Retama Central Library on Comanche Street. Attendees can get on-the-spot interviews for stable city employment, but make sure you bring several copies of your resume and dress professionally. Candidates under 18 must be accompanied by a parent or guardian.
So if you have any outstanding citations and can't make it to municipal court on weekdays, there is help this weekend. The Corpus Christi Municipal Court is hosting community court over at the library. It's this Saturday from 9 a.m. until 1 p.m. over at the Janet F. Hart Library. That's on Waldron Road. You can speak with the judge to address any tickets and violations. You'd also request defensive driving, set up payment plans, and resolve any active warrants.
And City Council has approved a resolution to increase beach permit fees for Mustang and North Padre Islands. The annual parking permit would jump from $12 to $20 beginning next year. City officials say the extra money is needed to cover rising costs for beach maintenance and services. The goal is to keep the beaches safe, clean, and enjoyable for visitors, but don't expect to pay more right away, folks. The General Land Office still needs to give final approval, and that process could take up to 6 months.
The Bob Hall Pier was once a hub for surfers, and now the new pier is set to usher in a new wave of surfing culture. I'm your neighborhood news reporter Drew Bishop on Padre Island, speaking with local surf experts about what this pier could mean to them.
On any given afternoon, you can find surfers like Marco Parkins chasing waves along the North Packery Channel jetty.
So I'm going to save some in the tank for tomorrow.
But with work on the new Bob Hall Pier completed, the tide is turning towards a new surf spot.
But it's actually starting to get good. We were out there last Sunday.
Longtime locals like Frank and Nathan Floyd remember the old Bob Hall Pier as a surfing destination before Hurricane Hannah and Harvey destroyed it.
That's after Hurricane Hannah.
There you go. Yeah.
When the T-head was demolished and before they tore it down.
The father-son duo run Wind and Wave Water Sports, a shop that's been serving Coastal Bend surfers for almost 40 years.
We've had a lot of people come traveling through here all through the years because the pier, when it was working good, could have some really good waves.
Just like Parkins, Floyd tells me he's tested the waters by the pier and knows experienced surfers are excited to do the same.
There's a lot of people who used to surf the pier almost exclusively who are chomping at the bit. You're definitely going to see a lot of people gravitate back that way.
There's a history of a turf war between fishermen and surfers at the old pier, but surfers I spoke with tell me that feud is now a rarity.
98% of the time, 99% of the time, we all get along pretty well. If we're paddling out over there, the guy will wait a minute till we go by before we cast.
We don't want to get hooked as much as they don't want to hook us.
And in a few months when the sandbars start to pile up, you'll see experienced shredders and maybe even some pros return to chasing waves around Bob Hall Pier.
The people that put on contests around here have already been putting out the feelers, and it's a great venue for that. Brings a lot more people out to watch and compete.
All the surfers I spoke with today told me they plan on visiting the new Bob Hall Pier after it debuts on Tuesday. On Padre Island, I'm your neighborhood news reporter Drew Bishop, Chris 6 News.
Drew, thank you so much. So the USA is chasing the gold at the Olympics today. And I got a news tip that one athlete with Corpus Christi roots has a whole community here cheering her on. United States women's national ice hockey team forward Hannah Bilka will be taking the ice today, but in Corpus Christi, she's already a champion. Before the world stage, Bilka walked the halls of St. Pius X Catholic School, and even back then, her teachers say you could see it. Chris Bryan taught Bilka music when she was in the first grade, and she said she always knew she'd have great potential.
It didn't surprise me that she was there. She was a go-getter. And, you know, you have to be a go-getter to push yourself to that level. Really, really proud of her.
And for students, knowing an Olympian once went to their school is igniting big dreams.
It made me feel confidence because I want to be an Olympic runner. And I'm a really fast runner, and I want to continue that journey to become really fast.
I want to be an Olympic figure skater, and she's like really inspiring for that.
Olympic women's hockey gold medal game drops the puck at 12:10 p.m. Central Time. And coming up on today, Team USA alpine skier Cadela Shiffrin will join today for a live interview from Cortina after taking gold in the slalom. So pretty cool. Okay, so I just messaged Hannah because I wanted to share the cute little video of all the kids saying, "Go Hannah."
Yeah.
So we'll see if she reads it, because if she has her read receipts on, I'm going to keep track of it. Hopefully she messages us back.
Yeah, and hopefully that gives her that just extra pep in her step, or skate, I should say, when she's out there performing for the gold.
Good vibes from Corpus Christi, right?
We love it.
I know she's going to be pretty busy, but hopefully she's able to see that, of course, and, you know, we're all rooting for her, so hopefully we'll see how it all shakes out and when we go into it. Either way, not looking too bad in terms of the weather to stay in, maybe watch some Olympics today, enjoy some air conditioning because it is looking warm as we head into the afternoon. Here's a live view for our Thursday morning from our USS Lexington camp. Thanks to First Community Bank, we're officially down to about 69 degrees here in Corpus Christi, but you could see definitely a cloudy and a little bit of a foggy morning on our hands so far. Not nearly that dense fog advisory criteria, but still visibility is down to about 2 and 3 miles this morning. Temperature-wise, we're all waking up to the 60s and 70s. 70 at the Naval Air Station, 71 for Rockport and Robstown, but the warm spot, you got to go down south to Falfurrias, coming in at 72 degrees. For our cool spot, that's heading out west. Freer coming in at 64, Cotulla coming in at a chilly 60 degrees so far. And as we're taking a closer look with our Chris 6 neighborhood weather network, starting off on the south side, sitting in at 70 degrees for San Benito Drive, 69 for Garden Court this morning. As we work just slightly north towards Portland, Portland, just a little warmer, 71 for Oakland Hills and then 71 over by Willow Drive also. So pretty much a warm one across the entire coastal bend for us, and going to remain warm as we go through these next few hours. Here's our dog walking forecast for today. Today's star is Peanut Gonzalez, looking pretty majestic up there on that rock, I'd say, but those temperatures going to rise pretty nicely for Peanut's walk over there at West Guth Park. 75 degrees by 10 a.m. up to 81 as we're heading into our lunchtime hour, and even into those 80s as we head in the later portions of the afternoon. But one good thing about today, those winds going to be out of the south 10 to 15 miles an hour, quite a bit lighter than what we saw yesterday when we were pushing 30 to 35 miles per hour. For our forecast highs in this afternoon, going to push 86 here in Corpus Christi. As you work your way to the southwest though, some 90s trying to sneak in for areas like Freer, Hebronville, and Falfurrias, so we'll see how hot we round out our Thursday. Either way, well above that average of 73 where we're supposed to be, at least in terms of for this part of February. For our wind gusts, like I said, a little bit lighter today, 20 to 25 miles an hour as we're heading through the afternoon. Into the overnight hours should even start to lighten up even more, closer to 10 to 15 miles an hour for us here in Corpus Christi and around the entire coastal bend. For our future tracker, holding on to the cloud cover this morning, but this afternoon brings the sunshine and the 80s and even 90s like we talked about. By tomorrow morning is really what I want to focus on with the future tracker. Can't rule out a little bit of drizzle or maybe a quick passing shower as we're heading out for that morning commute tomorrow. No, it's not going to amount to too much in terms in the rain bucket, at least in those rain totals, but still we'll take every drop we can get as it passes through. So just something to keep in mind as you're heading out tomorrow. Could see a little bit of that rain on your windshield. As we're going through the next few days, we're eyeing that cold front by Saturday. It's making for a breezy Saturday afternoon and a cool Sunday and Monday in its wake. Here's how it's all shaking up on the 7-day forecast. 80s for the next few days, 70s by Sunday, and even those 60s it looks like by Monday. Keep in mind those overnight lows falling into the 40s as soon as Sunday morning, but some quick warming, I should say, takes us back into the 80s as we're heading into Wednesday of next week. So kind of a roller coaster forecast, if you ask me, guys. How you feeling about the change up?
I'm okay with it. I kind of want it to be a little less windy though, because when we take the dogs out, all the dust just blows everywhere.
Yeah.
It hurts my eyes.
And it makes it really hard for flying the drone at all, too.
Ooh, that definitely makes that tough.
Yeah. Well, hey, thank you so much, Stephen. Thank you, folks at home. We will be back later on tonight with even more news. See you later.